What's up guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be open format discussion based video all about Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker. Quite surprisingly, a lot of the leaks for Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker were confirmed in the trailer. So with that said, we're going to be talking openly about that stuff. So legitimately there are spoilers in this video for The Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
And Palpatine and the role that he'll be playing, his ultimate plan, and what becomes of him in the end. Mm-hmm. So let's start from the beginning chronologically. Again, I want to make it clear there are spoilers in this video. So basically, according to a lot of this stuff and according to what we see in the trailer, I want to focus on this in particular. In the only scene where we actually see Palpatine on screen in the trailer, he is attached to some type of device. Mm-hmm. Now, according to the leaks that, again, came out way before this trailer was ever released, Palpatine actually sat in this sort of mechanical chair that has a mechanical arm attached to it that makes him mobile while he's confined to this life support system. Almost like an extreme version of Vader. Now, what this basically means, as far as what I've interpreted from what we've heard, is that Palpatine did actually die in Return of the Jedi. He was actually killed by Darth Vader. But that due to research and technology that he conducted after he became Emperor, and due to Darth Plagueis, and of course his mastering, bringing back individuals from death, Palpatine has been able to cling to life, but very, I would almost call it like dirtily. Like it's very raw, and because of that, he requires a ton of help and a ton of nourishment, and that's why he sort of is ridden into this chair. There's also like theories and speculation and leaks that Palpatine is literally able to control this entire environment that they're in. Apparently when Kylo Ren visits him, it's very different than what it looks like when Rey visits him, which is really interesting. And Palpatine doesn't really even appear physically at first to Kylo Ren. And again, according to the leaks, that shot in the trailer where we see Palpatine's chair is actually Kylo Ren discovering Palpatine for the first time. And Palpatine offers Kylo Ren power, and a power that he hasn't even experienced before under Snoke, a power that could make him essentially immortal, and the plan for him and what is revealed to be his granddaughter to ultimately take over the Empire in his stead. Which is not Palpatine's real plan. That's just the plan as it's posed to Kylo Ren. Later on, again, it is revealed that Rey is in fact a descendant of Palpatine, and that her parents didn't actually abandon her on Jakku. Instead, they were assassinated, and the vision that Rey has of the individuals leaving Jakku is actually of the assassin's ship, apparently, leaving the planet. Her parents never really abandoned her. Her parents weren't nobody, but her parents were murdered. As far as a lot of the greater details that I know about their real connection to Palpatine, I'm not sure, but it would make sense that they would be targets of assassination if, in fact, they were the Emperor's, if they were related to the Emperor at all. And something that I really found interesting about the leaks as well, and I want to get your opinion on this, is when Rey confronts Palpatine in the finale of The Rise of Skywalker, he says that he's confident that she is unable to betray him because he learned that lesson with Luke and Vader. He learned that no matter how powerful Vader was in the dark side of the Force, he saw that he was unable to betray his son, so he believes that Rey will ultimately be unable to betray him, which I think is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think that's really cool how Palpatine sees some sort of bloodline loyalty in Rey, where maybe if he could just reveal the correct information to her, she'll be some perfect new Sith to take up his throne. And I think that all these leaks with Palpatine are really cool, actually. My biggest concern going into this is you and I have made jokes talking about how does Palpatine come back, and our biggest joke being, what if he just never died? Because, like, that's the easiest way to write off the fact that he was gone for all this time. Just be like, yeah, he just never died and he's hiding. So the idea that he does, like, potentially die and then find a way to cling to life or, like, bring himself back either through the studying that he did with Plagueis or whatever mechanical means that he goes about it, I think will be pretty interesting. I hope that we learn a lot about that, and I like the idea of Palpatine somehow either forcefully bringing Kylo Ren and Rey together to his presence to siphon their force energy off of them, or even if that's just happenstance that they do this, and he was just kind of waiting for the opportunity to come to him as opposed to him bringing it to himself. I think that stuff is going to be really cool because obviously going into this movie, Palpatine is the most interesting part of it. It's the biggest like curveball that they've thrown at us with this new trilogy, and he's such a compelling villain. And although it could seem maybe a little bit repetitive to bring him back, he's just so interesting because of how powerful he is and what he does with his power. That seeing him return in this last installment of this saga is going to be really cool.
I want to talk about a few other stuff. Apparently now Palpatine, as far as new powers that he has, he's a master at illusion now, so he can almost create entire environments from what I understand with his use of the Force.
Similar to like what you would say the Reality Stone looks like in Marvel.
I guess.
I think that would be pretty interesting.
As far as other stuff, he literally emanates energy, which is all the lightning you see striking around. It's literally coming from Palpatine.
Yeah, kind of like a Force Storm thing.
A little bit, yeah. Another thing is, it is his ultimate goal to, as you said, siphon the power from Kylo Ren and Rey, because it's revealed that it was never really his intention to have Kylo Ren and Rey reign by his side eventually. It's his goal to reign alone, as he always did. Palpatine's the most selfish individual in all of Star Wars. He doesn't want Rey and Kylo Ren there to train under him and to eventually succeed him in his empire. He wants the empire, which is what Palpatine has always wanted. So the reason that it had to be Rey and Kylo Ren is because essentially Rey, the light side abilities that she has are not diluted by other presences that use the Force in the galaxy.
There's really only that one Jedi left, and then that one quote-unquote,
So Luke is gone, Snoke is gone, and all these Darksiders are... Kylo Ren is the last prominent Darksider in the galaxy, and Rey is the last prominent light side wielder in the galaxy.
They're like figureheads of Force energy.
Exactly, and because of that, unlike times before, it's no longer diluted, and Palpatine can absorb their energy fully, which may actually be one of Palpatine's plans originally with Luke Skywalker as well as Darth Vader, where his plan was to siphon energy from them to rejuvenate himself. Which gets me into it. Apparently, Palpatine is partially successful in siphoning energy from both Rey and Kylo, and he's rejuvenated. He's actually able to move from his chair. Apparently within this chamber, it's been described as an arena. The actual sky opens up and it reveals all the Star Destroyers above him.
Oh, that's cool.
And it, like lightning strikes down on Palpatine, and you see him literally become more youthful and his attire change. So from what I understand, he has like a black robe still, but it's got like red lining through it, sort of like Kylo Ren's helmet, from what I understand. So it sounds really cool. But eventually, as we can tell, the Palpatine's not going to win in the end of The Rise of Skywalker. It's going to be Ben Solo and Rey coming together to stop him. But that's pretty much all the information that we have about Palpatine. Again, as far as little stuff, apparently Palpatine left hints of his survival and his location around the universe, which is why they actually go to the Death Star 2. There's a device in the Death Star 2 known as a Wayfinder that will actually lead them to his location. Or lead Rey to his location.
Do you think that any of that information that Palpatine leaves behind is also what leads them to whatever the Dagger is in this movie?
Yeah, absolutely. And the Dagger... I'm not sure really the significance of it beyond the fact that that's actually the weapon that was used to kill Rey's parents, apparently. It's a Sith dagger. How it comes into play, I'm not sure. But I do know from what I've heard that Kylo Ren manages to destroy the Wayfinder that Rey finds in the Death Star 2, But the way Kylo was able to find Palpatine's location was he actually used Darth Vader's Wayfinder, and that he reveals kind of to Rey that if she wants to be able to find Palpatine, she has to go through him and take Vader's.
Wow.
So, honestly, man, I'm really excited.
It sounds cool. It's definitely interesting, and I'm very curious to see how this will all play out on a screen, because whenever you hear stuff like this, it doesn't necessarily mean that when you see the finished product that it's going to live up to the potential that the story that you make in your own head does. Yeah. But it's definitely really cool. I think it's funny how there's this little Dagger plot after we've been making all these videos talking about like the ones and stuff like that, and that Dagger that could kill them, and like only that Dagger. It definitely emulates that storyline a lot. But at the same time, it's pretty interesting. I'm really curious to see if Palpatine is going to do any of that visual manipulation stuff to make himself appear maybe less decrepit in this new movie. Because I could
sort of like he did in the prequels.
Yeah,
it's like he hid his malformations.
Yeah, or even take it back to like Wizard of Oz, some sort of like illusion like that, where Palpatine maybe makes himself look more imposing, or maybe I don't know what the word would be, like alluring to Rey and Kylo Ren, and then you could find out like they could show you a really, really damaged Palpatine, and like you'll kind of get the idea why it is that he needs to siphon their power through that imagery. And I think that these ideas are definitely fun. You know?
According to a lot of the leaks, like I said, when we first encounter Palpatine, he's not this incredibly powerful entity.
Yeah.
He's very, very old, and he's barely clinging to life. He's not this. He's a far cry from the power that he wielded in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, it would be a mistake, I think, to have Palpatine basically look exactly the same. I think that with all this time that has passed, and especially considering the injuries or even potential death that he must have sustained during the battle on the second Death Star, like he should look much worse. And then you could do the thing where if he does find that rejuvenation through the Force or whatever, for him to look more classic Palpatine, and then like you get that villain back the way you remember him as, but like you can't start him like that. And if you do, you can't keep him like that. You can maybe make him look similar to what he did, but then reveal that he's actually in much worse shape than you think. But that's just going to be the most, easy to ruin stuff. If they were to ruin anything, that's how they would ruin it.
Right.
But I don't think they are. It sounds really cool from all these leaks, and the trailer was really great too.
I think so too. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on Palpatine and his return in The Rise of Skywalker? What are your worries? What are you most excited for? Do you believe a lot of these leaks? Personally, I'm really on board with all of them, especially after, like, when I first read the leaks, I didn't even think it was worth a video that Palpatine has this giant mechanical, like, arm device moving him around. But then I see the trailer, and it's like, holy crap, that's what's happening. I thought that was really cool. Anyway, guys, leave all your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.